Joe Biden and Donald Trump both agree on the need to end the war in Ukraine, though foreign policy experts say Trump has been less specific about how to make that happen between Russian leader Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Serhiy Kudelia is an associate professor of political science at Baylor University.
He advocated only for the need to start some types of talks or negotiations, and he said that he would be willing to engage in these negotiations between Putin and Zelensky, but he never expressed any or specified any of the designs or the future outline of this peace agreement.
In this year's congressional fight to pass Ukraine aid, Trump said that assistance should be loans and not grants.
We're thinking about making it in the form of a loan instead of just a gift. We keep handing out gifts of billions and billions of dollars.
Trump says Europe should pay a greater share of helping Ukraine. But if re-elected, Trump will not want to be seen as having lost that war, says former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, John Herbst.
We do know that Trump perceives himself as a strong man, does not want to be associated with foreign policy failure. And a Russian victory in Ukraine, if Trump is president, would look very much like a foreign policy failure.
Trump's Republican Party is split over Ukraine, with some leaders viewing the war as a major U.S. security threat, and others saying it is a costly distraction.
Russia, for many of members of the Republican foreign policy establishment, is viewed as a declining power, and hence the Russian-Ukrainian war, from their standpoint, is a conflict that needs to be settled as quickly as possible, so that it does not drain the security resources of the United States.
As President, Biden leads the international coalition coordinating military assistance to Ukraine with more than $175 billion in U.S. aid. He says America will stand against unjust and unprovoked aggression for as long as it takes.
If the United States walks away, it will put Ukraine at risk. Europe is at risk. The free world will be at risk, emboldening others to do what they wish to do us harm.
Biden has partially removed restrictions on Ukraine using U.S. weapons against military targets in Russia. That commitment means the policy of a second Biden term would likely mirror the first, with greater latitude for increasing economic pressure on Russia, says Catholic University of America professor Michael Kimmage.
It's not as if they're determining their foreign policy on the basis of the election in some crude fashion, but there are limits and constraints, and those would be very different in a second term, where Biden can no longer run for re-election in 2028, and so he would be quite a bit freer.
The candidates' differences over Ukraine reflect their differing approaches to Russia, with Trump looking to improve ties with Moscow and Biden continuing to isolate Russia over its invasion of Ukraine. Tatiana, Vorozhko, VOANews, Washington.